Hey everyone, George here, the Disney Family Man. Before you watch this video, I just have to say, as a little spoiler alert, of course, that this is all about the in-depth look of the unveiling of the Disney Wish. And my good friend Mindy has joined me in this conversation, and I'll get to it in a little bit. But before we do, I just have to give a quick announcement that today, on April 29th, 2021, was I believe it's titled the All Wishes Day or something like that. And what a perfect way for Disney to unveil the Disney Wish, because it's also that Disney does a lot of uh, fundraising and everything, and collaborating with the Make-A-Wish Foundation for kids, and in honor of not just releasing the details for the Disney Wish, Disney had donated $1 million to the Make-A-Wish Foundation for kids, which I think is completely awesome that they decided to do that. And it's just giving the kids the opportunity that don't really can have a normal life, of giving them a chance to say, hey, there's still hope, there's still magic in the world, that they have something to look forward to. So I highly recommend that if or a loved one, it goes through some hard times, to definitely donate and give to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, or even the St. Jude Hospital for Kids. That would definitely be a great help. So without further ado, here's the video. Enjoy. Hey everyone, George here, the Disney Family Man, coming to you with another exciting video. And today we have a plethora of Disney news to share with you. And who to ask better than my good dear friend to join me today, and co-host of the Grand Circle Tour podcast. I have Miss Mindy Muir. How you doing?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me on your show, George. I love watching it. Every time you drop a video, I'm always the first to watch it. And you do such a good job. So thank you.
Thank you. And I had wanted to have you on many, many times, and I thought, well, I want to have the perfect topic to have you on. And I think this topic that we're going to discuss today is, I think, something that you and I share a big, heavily love for.
Love for,
Yes.
like, to our souls. I have a Disney Cruise Line tattoo. That should tell you enough
Yes.
of our deep love and obsession with Disney Cruise Line.
So, everyone, as you may have guessed, today's topic, we are going
Oh,
to talk about.
sorry.
No, no, you're fine. That was a nice little segue
I
in.
just spoiled the
No, no, you're
topic,
good. No,
guys.
no, no, you did. You're good. So we are going to talk about the Disney Cruise Line, and not just anything of the Disney Cruise Line, because I mean we have had many discussions before of the Disney Magic, the Disney Wonder, the Disney Dream, the Disney Fantasy. No, folks, we're talking about number 5, the Disney Wish.
Yay!
So Disney today had released through the Disney Parks blog I'm going to just call it a special, because that's really what it was to me. It was titled Once Upon a Disney Wish. And I just thought, my first interpretation of this was, I thought, how Disney kind of sets something up and it's like they give you a little bit of information and
Right.
it's like, that's it. Okay, there's more to come. No, they gave us like a kablam. Like, it was like a lot of information. I'm like just sitting there as one thing after the other. I'm like, wow, like this is a lot to take in, but a good way.
Right. On the show, Stan asked me, what do you think they're going to announce? And I said, look, I think they're going to talk about the atrium. They're going to talk about the rooms. They're going to talk about the restaurants and when you can book. And guess what? They did. I kind of expected that. I think they built it up to be, and usually they do these little teaser trailers, like you were saying. But no, I kind of had this feeling because
I
they
think
want to open up the Disney Cruise Line. They want morale to be raised. And that's what they did with this. They
and the way
brought
that
their
they
morale
sent
back.
and the way that they sent us a link way
Right.
ahead of time, like this wasn't like a day or two prep, like this was like anticipating something. I was like counting down the days, like I can't wait to see this unveiling of this new ship.
Right.
And I mean, just the lobby alone is breathtaking. It just has, like, they literally said they wanted to have a Disney castle on the seas, and I really truly feel like that's what they did with the Wish. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like just one of those things where that even to this chandelier, and I thought the chandelier was so not even just breathtaking, but the story behind it, where it's in the motion of when Cinderella's ball gown is the rags to riches, so to speak, moment for Cinderella, where you see the swirl of the fairy godmother's magic, and that's like what you get in the chandelier in the main lobby, and then you have the beautiful gold Cinderella statue part of it.
Right.
So it's like what a great way to set up. So I have to ask you, what was one of your top features? Because they discussed a lot of this.
They did. So I'll tell you mine. And it's the restaurant. So are we dropping names?
Oh
Is that
yeah,
what?
yeah, we're
Okay.
dropping it
So they
all.
have a restaurant that it's coming out. And as your listeners don't know, I am a huge vintage fan. I live, eat, breathe, wear vintage. I love it. They have a restaurant that they're doing inspired by Walt Disney, and it's called 1923. It's black, it's gold, it's regal. It's got this Disneyland even feel to it of way back then, and just, oh my gosh, the dark teak wood and the golds and the blacks and the vintage antique look is stellar. The glass is everywhere. Oh my gosh, it's giving me shivers. So I don't know if there's a way you can splice that picture in, but
Yep,
I
I'm going to add it in.
screenshotted a photo of it. So here it is. And holy heck, this picture shows, and they had Walt in there in the restaurant. I took a screenshot of it. Yeah, it's dark teak wood everywhere. You see the glass cabinets and tablecloths on the tables with green, that beautiful green velvet color of the 20s. And it looks a lot like the Great Gatsby film with
Mm-hmm.
Leonardo DiCaprio. It has that look to it, and it's Art Nouveau. So it's amazing. That's what I'm really excited about that. There's so much to be excited, but when I saw that, it gave me chills.
When they announced that there was going to be 3 new restaurants, and I'm
Right.
thinking, okay, what could this be? And they announced the Frozen themed one
Frozen
first,
themed one.
which yes, so like they already added Tangled and the Princess and the Frog to the other ship. So I was kind of expecting them to do something with
Right.
Frozen. I think we all were.
Yeah.
But when they said that they were going to have a Hollywood theme, and I'm thinking, okay, so they're basically more so going to do like a Hollywood Brown Derby, but on the cruise ship, and that's
Right.
what.
It is
But when
Hollywood
they
Brown
said,
Derby.
but when they said that it was going to be inspired by Walt himself,
Mm-hmm.
and then when they showed that concept art, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like that's like on a completely different level than
Says
I.
Walt all over it, right?
Oh, it does.
It's the 20s, just that early era of it's so exciting to bring it back, and it matches the ship perfectly. The ship is inspired by the 30s cruise liner, and the blacks, the reds, the whites, and then even that beautiful yellow. Those are classic colors of a cruise ship, and it's so exciting. Let's start at the top, shall we? Let's start at the top and work our way down. Let's do
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
So if we're going to talk about the ship, they announced what's going to be on the top deck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you want to let them
Yes.
know?
So this was surprising. Well, let me say this. This was a little bit of a spoiler that they gave back in the day. Back in the day, I just dated that
Yeah.
that it was before the shutdown, before the pandemic, that they were discussing with Port Canaveral that they were expanding Port Canaveral for the new ships to arrive for Disney. And one of the guys had mentioned because there's something that was on the ship that they had to expand part of the port for it to fit. And I'm thinking,
Right.
what in the world could they be putting on that ship that they have to actually expand? Well, today we got the announcement that on the top of the ship, for the first time ever, Disney is getting its very own attraction
Yeah.
on top of the ship. And it's titled the AquaMouse.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's more so like a water themed roller coaster, sort of like how the Aqueduct, but it's now plus, as Walt would say. It is
Right.
plus to the notion of that there's going to be a storyline based off of the new Mickey Mouse shorts, and Mickey and Minnie take you on their misadventures, so to speak, through this coaster that goes around the whole entire ship.
The whole ship. So I was excited to see that and watch that come to fruition and really what that's going to entail. It's an amazing, you think water coasters, that's what it is. It's a water coaster, and they brought it to the ship. It's really cool.
And it's just so
Really
amazing
cool.
how they take a concept that they already have, but
Mm-hmm.
plus it
It's
something bigger and
enclosed,
better.
so it's enclosed a lot of it because it's going to be dark. So um it's white, it's clear and open in part of it, so you're like in a half tube.
Hmm.
But there's a section that goes almost down one side of the ship that's
Yeah,
fully
it's
enclosed.
completely enclosed. It almost
So
like where it shoots you up before
right,
you come down. So, and
right,
that's the part that's completely enclosed. So I'm
yep,
for sure that's probably where a lot of like the storytelling of the animation would be inside the
correct,
tube.
yep. And that's I'm excited about. So if we keep going down, they said the next levels are because they said it was at the top of the ship, the staterooms.
Hmm.
Wow, wow, wow. So the staterooms, they are coming out with a Disney Cinderella themed room. My jaw was
Did
to
you
the
see that?
floor.
Did you see the artwork that's in those rooms?
Yes.
It's
So
like
I screenshotted everything as I was watching it. I was like, screenshot, screenshot. And I was like, I'm so excited. I can't even, I just screenshotted it all so I could go back and really zoom into the details of what they're putting in these rooms. The bathrooms are amazing. The sinks are almost like that farmhouse. Everything's white inside. It's beautiful gold accents, the faucets and the trimmings, gold. And then it's got a shower, but not a shower curtain, it's glass.
hmm.
So the shower, and there's a tub. They stuck with the tub, but they're not round. They're your basic square tubs, but there's a shower enclosing. So they're bringing it's amazing. And there's still two bathrooms. So you've got the restroom and because it works great for Disney Cruise Line. The beds are raised. You can get the stuff up underneath your luggage. You can put under the beds. And there weren't
Beautiful
any
veranda views. I mean,
beautiful verandas. There weren't any portholes that I saw in the inside rooms. I didn't see any inside rooms. Did I miss those? I don't
no,
think
they
I
didn't really show any inside. I think they more so showed the veranda rooms and then
veranda rooms,
that
right?
that jaw dropping two
Two
story
story.
2 story suites. I mean,
Oh my goodness. Spiral staircase, you guys. And when you think of a Disney cruise, I'm sure George will put the pictures in. It's very white and clean, but it's got this gray velvet accent all over that room, like a light blue gray, that Cinderella color, and the embroidery of like the magic that the fairy godmother, like all the twinkling and the pixie dust that's all over, and it's embroidered into the linens and the throw pillows and the couch. That's amazing. It's all just stellar, and that I'm excited about. I don't know how much that's going to be, the amount that's going to
I can
cost.
imagine.
Can you imagine what concierge is going to be on that
Uh,
ship? I Guys, go win the lottery so we can go, because
yes,
it's a pretty price tag. I'm sure it's already a pretty price tag to stay in inside the concierge level, but on this ship, I'm excited to see what that is.
and I mean, like on all of 5 ships thus far, the Wish seems the most. I mean, don't get me wrong; all the ships are spectacular in
Right,
their own ways, but this one has a completely different feel to it just by the concept art. It has this very upscale, elegant,
right.
almost to like, and I'm going to say it again. They said they wanted a Disney castle on the water, and
That's
this
what you're
is
right. It's
it.
almost bringing Cinderella's castle on a ship. It's very regal and beautiful. I love that analogy. You're so right.
And then
Because
it's
that's the statue in the atrium, right? It's Cinderella.
Cinderella gold, and then even behind it, they're going to have a sort of like a mini stage with a balcony.
Yes.
So throughout the whole entire day, they're just going to have different activities
And
and
the
shows going
atrium.
on. That's just going to be
Correct.
that's just going to
I'm
be awesome.
excited. So, and then the other two. We talked about the restaurants, and they announced the kids clubs. They talked about the kids clubs. Tell your guests what that's about.
The kids clubs, well, starting off that in the atrium, they're going to have a magical portal, so to speak, where they can enter on the, as if you're looking at like on the stage to the right side, they're going to have a slide that kids can actually enter the clubs just by going down the slide from the atrium.
Right.
And that is,
it has its own secret entrance,
and
a
I love,
slide to
and
get
I love
there.
how the cruise director kind of joked and says, "Oh, don't worry, we have a special place for the adults to enter as well. It's called a door." You know?
Right.
But
And the kids club, what it's gonna do? Are you kidding me? Oh, we skipped over the other restaurant.
oh, yeah. That's right. It was, let's see,
go back.
the other one was, yeah, let's rewind back a little bit, folks. That the other restaurant is going to be the very first Marvel restaurant.
Oh my gosh.
Now they didn't give too much detail on it.
They didn't.
But I think they said the immersion of this restaurant is going to be,
yeah, so
something
edit
very
that and splice it in. But so the three restaurants are 1923, the Frozen restaurant. I didn't catch the name, but I'll go back. And then the Marvel's Experience restaurant at sea. And it looks amazing. All three of them look great.
Really
I'm just excited about 1923. I would go there just as if it were a restaurant. Like I would,
and you had
I would love that.
And you had mentioned to me many times that you just do like the double seating.
Right. Please, I will, when I go on this Wish trip, the cruise, I will be requesting my double seating to 1923 because it's going to be my favorite restaurant. I can already tell.
And then also, before we leave dining, before I forget also that I'm looking forward to the triple adult exclusive experience based off of Beauty and the Beast. They have the Rose Lounge, which you can have either a before or after cocktail or alcoholic beverage before or after your dinner. Then they have the Palo Steakhouse, which is upgraded to kind of have like that look of Cogsworth. It's going to be a menu designed for him. And then the one that I'm actually interested is the Enchanté.
Enchanté. Are you kidding me? I'm just looking at my screenshot here. Again, it's that white, the gold, and that light, soft, velvety blue color. It's almost pastel, but almost gray. So it's Cinderella. The whole ship screams Cinderella. The gold walls and the lighting. Oh my goodness. You describe that best. I'm looking at it. It looks like a castle.
That's exactly what it. That's what it is.
All of this ship is a castle.
The outer exterior of the ship is the ship of what we know of it. But the second we step in, it's almost like we walk in through a Disney castle. That's what it just.
The gold regal blues and that gray color. That's you're right. It looks like a Disney castle. I love that analogy. I'm gonna steal that one. But so those are the three restaurants, and then the kids clubs going back. They took a
now with the kids clubs, the one thing that I find very interesting, and I'm a little bit jealous for the kids, is they get an in-depth look of what goes on at Walt Disney Imagineering. They get to learn some of the tricks of the trade, so to speak.
They get to have the toy that I'm going to play when it's open house. I'll be in line.
Yeah.
So remember at Epcot, you could go in and create your own roller coaster. Remember those attractions there were two of them.
And I know they had it at Disney Quest.
Yeah, there was one there, but there was one in Innoventions too.
Okay.
And so at Disney Quest, they had that one, but they also had one at Innoventions where you go and you create a roller coaster and then you ride it. And it's kind of cheesy. You got in, you could make it flip upside down, and it was fun. It was pretty terrifying at sometimes. My daughter was like, zip, zip, like loop, 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 loop. It's all she wanted to do. And I almost threw up afterwards, but it's a fun concept. Now they plussed this to a whole new level. You sit down as a child. So you create your roller coaster and you sit down, but you see the train to Thunder Mountain Railroad, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. So you ride an attraction that you just built. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy. It's almost like you create the schematics to it, but Disney puts the layer
The
on it.
Yeah, so you create the ups and downs and the turns and everything, but then you go ride your attraction that you just built. It's stellar. I was kind of like blown away by that. I'm trying to find the picture that I saved of that. But oh my goodness, I was blown away.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a lot of the specialty things like within the kids clubs. It's like, wow, I'm a little bit jealous of that.
Me too. I am so jealous
But I am
because
glad, but I am glad as us as adults, as I said, we have that exclusive dining of the Beauty and the Beast theme. We also are getting the Quiet Cove up at the top
right,
of the
the
ship,
Quiet Cove.
and the Senses Spa also returns to the Disney Cruise Line. And I
Hmm.
mean, me as an adult, who doesn't love the Senses Spa? I
And the rainforest passes. Oh my gosh, I live in those.
mean,
So George, what do you say we book this ship together and we take a sailing on the Disney Wish?
yes, I'm all for it. I mean, I was all in it before, but after physically
Oh,
seeing
I
what is
know.
all involved in this, and they said this is just the beginning. This is like the tip of
Right.
the iceberg. This isn't everything that involves with, everything. And that even goes with the entertainment that they announced that they're going to have the Aladdin musical
Mm-hmm.
spectacular, but there's going to be two new shows that are exclusive to the Disney Wish, which they
Right.
haven't released it yet,
Nope.
but I'm very curious to see what it's going to be. So I say honestly that we go for it, and we our wish is to be on the Wish. That's how.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, so the kids club, they announced a superheroes academy. So you can, interact with, they did that as well. But the kids clubs are like they're iconic and what you get to do there. But as an adult, they've got some amazing adult sections too. They do not leave adults out. And I'm just excited for that. Really. I'm excited
I
about the whole ship. And then they dropped the piece of the resistance of when we get to book the ship. So
yes.
tell your guests when we get to do that,
So,
George.
for us and for you, that if you want to experience the Disney Wish yourself, bookings will begin May 27th of this year, 2021, folks. That's right. It's coming up quick.
It's
And
like next month.
it's literally, yes, like they didn't even anticipate. It's like bam, and it's like it's here, and it's for a starting of summer 2022 sailings. So
Yep.
if you want to guarantee your spot with it, definitely check it out. Save the date, mark your calendar, set a reminder on your phone, all that good stuff. That if you want to book on the Disney Wish, May 27th is the date, and I guarantee you, probably I'd say 99.9% that I'm going to be on there that day booking for some cruise of the Wish. We didn't really hash out the dates yet. We're trying to configure that now, but
Right.
you will definitely be seeing us on the Disney Wish.
Yes. I don't know the dates, but I do know that we have a placeholder and it's ready to be moved.
Yeah.
And we're definitely, maybe I missed it because I was doing something or just jaw dropped. Did they say how long these cruises are going to be? Did I miss that?
Right now, no, they didn't give the
Okay.
specifics of the number of nights, nor were the ports of call or what have you. The only thing that I do know that they didn't announce on the special, but just guaranteed that it will sell out of Port Canaveral. So I'm
Right.
assuming it's going to be for the Bahamas and or Caribbean,
Do you
whatever.
think they're going to replace the Dream and do 3 and 4 day cruises with this one then?
Well, I have known that they said the Dream was going to eventually move down to Miami.
Okay.
So I'm
So you think
wondering,
that's what it's going to do?
it's either going to do two
I,
possible ways for me. It's either the Wish is going to substitute the Dream when the Dream moves to Miami, or when the Dream moves to Miami, the Fantasy will take over the Dream number of
okay.
nights, and then the Wish would take over the Fantasy's nights.
That makes more sense.
That's what I'm
That
thinking.
makes way more sense. And you're right. That could be very possible. Now that even is better because my husband is a Disney cruise snob. We have been on several Disney cruises, like several. And we went on a 3-day the very first time we went, and you blink and it's done. We never did it again. We were so sad to have to leave. It's like you go to bed, you wake up, you go to bed, and it's time to get off. So the next one, we did a 4-night cruise, and it was better, but it was still way too short. And my husband at that moment says, I will never go on a Disney cruise that's less than a 7-day again. Don't ever book them. I will not go. So since then, Brandon has never stepped foot on a Disney cruise unless it's a 7-day. And I'm okay with that, because who doesn't want to go on a 7-day cruise? I don't want to get off. That's not long enough, So I'm excited about that. And I hope you're right. I hope it does do the 7
Yeah, I
days.
think that's what it's going to be. And I think for the people such as myself also who haven't experienced the fantasy yet, it may even kind of lower some of the prices on the fantasy, because the fantasy only has done more so the 7 nights. Sometimes they did like a 5
Right.
night. But, I think if they take over the Dreams position when the Dream moves to Miami, then the Wish can kind of follow in the fantasy's footsteps.
Yep, definitely going to have to call the travel agent and let them know my plans to move it, because we're currently still booked for October 2nd of this year, but we're having to move, and we're going to go to Disney World for 3 weeks instead and extend that because of COVID restrictions. We still don't know if we would even be able to sell. So with that said, we're just like, you know what, let's be safe. And they're not even open. They haven't even resumed cruising through July. So that means they'd have August and September, just 6 short weeks to
And
get their act together. And I
and
just don't know how that's going to
and
happen.
in the very beginning, they're going to have a lot of bugs and kinks to work out,
Right.
obviously, which is pretty much, self-explanatory, it's going to
Yep.
happen. But
Yeah.
I think by summer 2022 and on, I think we'll be in a much better position with the Disney Cruise Line.
Yep. I think you're right. So that's exciting. And what's going to happen? I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't wait either. So everyone, that is our huge announcement of the Disney Wish, of some of the ins and outs. We will definitely keep you posted as new information comes out to us. And I want to thank Mindy. Thank you again for joining me on this special in-depth look of the Disney Wish for the very first time that we actually got some information. So I thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me, George. And your listeners, if you don't know, George is like my brother, and we just adore each other, and we talk all the time, and he's always been there for me, and I appreciate him for having me on. So thanks, George.
Thank you. And remember, everyone, as always, stay healthy, stay safe, stay Disney. Bye, everyone.
Bye.